everyone has a different way of expressing themselves. Some choose art forms like music and dancing, others like to write poems and prose. However, one of the most underrated forms of art is architecture. Designing a great home is no easy task. A home where its residents can feel more comfortable than anywhere else in the world. Although most architects design homes that fit properly into urban centers all around the world, there are a few who like to stand out. They use their homes to make a statement. Here's a look at some of the strangest and bizarre houses from around the world. Holiday Wales currently has 3 Hobbit houses open to the public and they are already proving to be a hit. These subterranean houses are perfectly designed to mimic the fantastical Hobbit homes in the much-loved trilogy. They also happen to be tucked away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. Straight out of Hobbiton, this house was built by a photographer who evidently was a huge LOTR fan. But the most remarkable thing about it is that it was built using only natural materials and cost only $5,200. Garrett House is a structure and art installation in Warsaw, Poland. It was designed by the architect Jakub Szczesny through the architecture firm Central and has been described as the narrowest house in the world, measuring 92 centimeters at its thinnest point and 152 centimeters at its widest. This is the world's slimmest house. And so he squeezed his house in between 2 other buildings. This is for the skateboard fanatics. The entire house is designed like one big skateboarding rink. The house was designed by Pierre-André Senizergues, a former pro skating world champion. The house is divided into 3 separate spaces. The first one includes the living room, dining area and kitchen, the second one includes a bedroom and bathroom and the third one a skateboard practice area. Ultimate dream for generations of skateboarders who wanted to bring their practice into their home has finally come true. One of these houses is not like the others. This house in Tokyo by Su Fukumoto Architects, known as House Na, stands out with its modern and transparent style. The building is unlike its neighboring houses in its appearance and structure. The interior of the residence has hardly any walls. The house boasts large glass windows for plenty of daylight, but the downside seems to be a lack of privacy. Just about everything indoors is exposed to neighbors and passers-by. Water was not the only thing this tower stored. It was also used as a Nazi hideout during the Second World War. Architect Mauro Brigham of Bomb Design Studio has repurposed an old water tower in Belgium, simply known as Château d'Eau, into a livable home. The 30-meter high tower, which was first constructed sometime between 1938 and 1941, has been transformed into a high-tech, modern residence that offers all the amenities of a typical house, from a bedroom and bathroom to storage space and a panoramic terrace. If you buy this apartment, you'll always know what time it is. That's because you'll live inside the clock. It's a triplex penthouse in Brooklyn, a 633 square meter spread atop the landmark Clock Tower building. The building is a former cardboard box factory built in 1914. The incredible penthouse features 4.2-meter tall clock faces on every wall that allows plenty of natural light, while also providing amazing views of the Brooklyn Bridge and New York Harbor. Have you imagined living inside a cavernous home like the ones during the Stone Age? People in that era would dwell either in a rock home or in a cave. This is what you will see in the famous cartoon sitcom, The Flintstones. The sitcom is a humorous story of Fred and his family living in a Stone Age way of life. It also shows different adventures with his best friend Barney Rubbles. Well, you wouldn't barter living in a rock house with comfort in your current home. But you might change your mind after seeing this Malibu romantic Flintstones retreat house owned by American television and radio legend, Dick Clark. This house sits on a 23 acres lot in Malibu, giving one a 360-degree view of mountains, seas, and cityscapes. Gregory Klein, a designer from California, turned an old dumpster into a home for himself. Although the size is small, he's got everything in there that's needed to live in the house. He's got some storage space, a microwave oven, a fridge and even a toilet. Not too sure how comfortable it is. Many have wondered what life would be like living in a seashell, and that was the exact inspiration behind the beautifully crafted Nautilus. This giant seashell house is located in Mexico City and was built and designed by Arquitectura Organica's own Javier Senogian. The home was built back in 2006 and features a smooth front facade met with a giant wall of colored mosaics, lighting up the living space in a stunning rainbow effect. While driving through Texas suburbia, 20 minutes outside of Lubbock, drivers will find a giant, four-legged UFO standing just across the street from rows of ordinary two-story houses. Upon closer inspection, the strange formation appears to better resemble a massive cicada, or perhaps a multiple-story grand piano balancing on the hillside. In reality, this bizarre structure is actually someone's house, or, at least it used to be. The steel abode is the labor of love of Robert Bruno, an unconventional sculptor who handcrafted it from 1973 until his death in 2008. At the Trassenheide house, the only thing that isn't flipped on its head is the exterior stairs that lead to the attic. Along the outside walls of the inverted ground floor are an upside-down bench, wheelbarrow, and a bicycle. Once inside, things get really trippy. Sofas, kitchen furniture, potted plants, and paintings are all inverted in this upside-down world, hanging above you as you stand on the ceiling. Inside the bathroom, you almost expect water to come tumbling down from the upturned toilet. Even the curtains are pinned in such a way as to make you think that gravity has gone and flipped you. Sim J. Duck, the one-time mayor of the city of Suwon, was born in a toilet at his grandparents' house, which may explain his lifelong obsession with healthy latrines. As mayor of Suwon in the 1990s and early 2000s, he led an effort to clean and beautify the city's public toilets. He later founded the World Toilet Association, dedicated to doing the same for the world. Appropriately, he became known as Mr. Toilet by reputation. After he died, the house was donated to the city and turned into a toilet museum. The house itself is the largest toilet sculpture in Korea and has 2 floors of exhibitions about how important toilets are to the health of a society. Chinese architect Dai Haifei was troubled by the rising real estate prices in China's capital. So what did he do? He built himself an egg-shaped house on a sidewalk. It serves his basic requirements and is totally powered by solar energy. And it's cheap too. It cost him only $964 to build this. Beijing's architecture is a scene of extremes. On one end are Rem Koolhaas's multi-billion-dollar structures, on the other, Dai Haifei's $964 sleep pod, which the 24-year-old architect built because he couldn't even afford to live in the city he helps shape. It's not easy to describe this house in words. Designed by architects Berteguer and Pages, this house is a renovated prison house. The haunting all-white exterior is made of polystyrene coated in light resin. The sculpture was erected on the 41st anniversary of the dropping of the atomic bomb on Nagasaki. It was designed by sculptor John Buckley and constructed by Anton Castiau, a local carpenter and friend of Buckley. Heine said, "The shark was to express someone feeling totally important and ripping a hole in their roof out of a sense of importance and anger and desperation. It is saying something about CND, nuclear power, Chernobyl and Nagasaki." You can clearly see how the house got its name. Easily the most easy-to-spot house in the neighborhood, it is now a popular landmark in the area.
Hurry up! Push the subscribe button and hit the notification bell, so you can stay tuned with us whenever we upload something new.